Part 3, here's the interview with Elon Musk and the rest of the DOGE crew. We finally asked the one question on our mind. Who's big balls? It's big. That should be obvious. Why do they call you big balls?
I just said it as my LinkedIn username.
Okay.
Well, people on LinkedIn take themselves like super seriously, and they're pretty adverse to risk. And I was like, well, I want to be neither of those things. So I said it, and honestly, I didn't even think anyone would notice.
Yeah. So what do you do?
It's so cringe.
What does Big Balls do?
Right now, I'm working on some gaming computer stuff. So one of our initiatives is to root out fraud and waste. And to do that, we started looking at the gaming computers. And as mentioned earlier, like there is no accounting of.
If you learned anything from this channel, you know from time to time I will go back, that is, I will delve into an issue. I believe the Powers featured this gentleman who is a part of Elon Musk's DOGE team, and they found a clever way to introduce him to the world. And then 94 days later, yes, 94, which is April 4th on a calendar, 4/4, which matches Barack Obama being the 44th president. He, in Washington, D.C., was attacked. At least that's the story. I did a video on it, and then I did a video a few days ago in relation to Trump bringing in, let's just call them the Mountie, 800 law enforcement, because D.C. is federal, and the mayor and chief of police have to answer to Trump. Well, you know it's going to get some backlash. 30 days, it's got 30 days. In order to extend it, it has to go through Congress. It appears it would be a slam dunk with the Republicans, but there could be a filibuster. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Franchise Pearson. Welcome to Franchise Blue. And I'm going to ask some particular questions, because the more I research this thing, and I did microscope it a little bit more, I didn't want to do it at the beginning, but you know what? Since it's come to this, I'm going to show you what I believe I see. Because see, to justify their next move on this chessboard, they got to have something go wrong. So again, they introduced this young lad back in the day on May 1st on Fox. Yeah, because he's taking care of waste, fraud, and abuse. People, as far as I'm concerned, we've been had. Now, there's a photograph that's out about him. He's sitting, he's literally sitting. I want you to Google the guy's name. I want you to Google Edward Korstein. I'm trying to protect my gift. Everybody else is showing his brutally bloody body. In my mind, it's a pose. And in my mind, it has images in it. So I'm going to show you the image that I see as he's sitting there all bloody. He has his shirt over his right shoulder, okay? I'm going to cut this off, but I want you to see. I want you to see that, okay? And what you're looking at is this. It's shaped like this. To me, it's a snake. It's the outline of a snake, okay? The eye in the corner, nose there. So I'm going to cover it, because again, I got to protect my channel. Look at that thing. In my mind, it's a snake. I'm going to whiten it up for you. That's his shirt on his shoulder. Okay, now look at that. You see the eye on both corners and the nose? I challenge anybody to Google it. The nose in the center, the eyes on the side. To me, it's a snake. It wouldn't be the first time that they've done this, okay? This is in relation to 19-year-old Corstein. Corstein became a prominent figure in the Department of Government Efficiency under the second Trump administration. Okay, so you just found out about him, right? Okay, now look at this here. Again, he interviewed, he was on Fox show, the one here. He was on there May 1st. Just want to show you my receipts. Big Balls explains his nickname. He's on Fox. And everybody bought it. May 1st, 2025. And then on August 3rd, he's in D.C. at the Capitol, and he gets beat up. That's 94 days ago. The 94th day of the year is April 4th. Barack Obama's the 44th president. Have to ask yourself, is this coincidence? And I'm going to build on this as to why I'm asking this question. I think they're up to something. I smell a rat. Now, if you don't know the history of things like that, go to this book here. It's Vance Packard, Hidden Persuaders. This is one of the first books that I read back in the day. You can Google it, you can order it. You might be able to find it online in terms of watching a video on it. It shows hidden images and a lot of things. This is how I learned this stuff over 40 years ago. Okay, I talked about it in a live stream. Now, let me show you something else. What is her name? Beyonce on a Red Horse magazine. I've showed this image before too. Cause ain't nobody gonna tell me she's not sitting on a snake. That's a big eye there, that's a big eye there. You're so focused on everything else. That's an eye, that's an eye. And that's like a zipper tongue. And that's Vogue magazine. I've been telling people for years that's what that is. Allegedly. So let's move forward. Little thunder and lightning outside Chicago. Let's go forward. It'll be all right. Now, while some critics are reporting a decrease in crime in Washington, D.C., others are citing rising crime statistics, particularly violent crime. Specifically, some reports indicate a 26% drop in violent crime and an overall 7% overall decrease compared to last year. So why is Trump sending up and deploying all these troops?
It's also worth noting that violent crime in Washington is actually falling dramatically. After a spike immediately following the pandemic, the violent crime rate in D.C. has been steadily going down ever since. Even one violent crime is too many, of course, but the rate is now at a 30-year low. So why Trump?
A 30-year low, crime is down. Really? Okay. Well, I showed that by accident, so now you saw it. I should be okay though. Now, Senator Chris Van Hollen said this: Trump's raw authoritarian power grab in D.C. is part of a growing national crisis. He's playing dictator in our nation's capital as a dress rehearsal as he pushes democracy to the brink. Take these words literally, people. The Antichrist reign is coming. Okay? Take his words literally. He says, this assault on freedom is exactly why we're fought for D.C. statehood and to give D.C. control of its National Guard. He put this out yesterday. Now listen to this here. I gotta go through this gradually.
Joining us now, Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland. Senator, thanks for being here. We've noted that violent crime is significantly down in D.C. So do you think this is really about law and order?
Anna, this is not about law and order.
Now, because of what he says after this, I gotta protect myself. But people, I will put this in the description. If it doesn't go in there, you can go online, MSNBC, Raw Authority, Power Grab, Jim Senator Blast Dictators, Trump's D.C. takeover. I have a lot of issues on my channel, but it's not my fault. You can just go on YouTube, pull it up. He gets into the January 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you fill in the blank. He talks about the January 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you fill in the blank, okay? And how Trump didn't respond to that crisis and other crises in Washington, D.C. back in the day when he was president. So now let's move forward because I want to show you guys something here.
D.C. could hire more police and make further improvements.
So if it's not about law and order, what do you think it's really about?
This is about the president playing king, trying to be the authoritarian leader, the dictator. He sees a little opening in the law here. This is why, Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton and I have been working to pass legislation to allow the District of Columbia mayor to do what other leaders of states can do, which is to control the nationalization of the Guard. And the president has this very narrow authority, which he is abusing clearly right now, to federalize.
Yep. Now let's go to this other part. Like I said, I have to dance around. Okay, now let's go to this. This is Governor J.P. Pritzker. The game that they play, Democrat versus Republican, okay? One does some damage, the other one brings a solution. This is my governor of Chicago. He responded to what Trump is doing. But in my mind, he's speaking in code, and I'm gonna show you as he got on his purple tie, right? But check it out, listen to this. I gotta be careful because there's certain words he says. All right, hold on tight, people.
Nazis in Germany in the 30s tore down a constitutional republic in just 53 days.
So some group did something in just 53 days. Now what is 53? Let me show you. The 53rd day of the year is February 22nd. So 222.
Oh.
What is 222? I'm gonna show you. By him saying February 22nd is the 53rd day, the 53rd day of the year is February 22nd. That's 222, that's the Antichrist system. Is he speaking in code? See, because many times they play good cop, bad cop. So now you think the Democratic governor is against Trump. But he just showed you that what happened back in the day, it only took 53 days for them to take over a country. Out of all the numbers in the world, it's 53? Come on, man. So what I showed you there, and I apologize for it, the Governor Pritzker of Illinois, he responded as a Democrat against a Republican president, of course. And he said that back in the day, there was a group, there was a government in the 30s. They, within 53 days, tore down the government. They're giving you a hint, people. The 53rd day of the year is February 22nd. I've done countless videos in relation to 53, the number, and 222. So has Joe Acquaviva. What comes to mind right now is that our first president, George Washington, he was born, I believe, on February 22nd. And they want to cancel out the country. So they're playing good cop, bad cop. Trump is the villain, and now Pritzker is the savior. Hey, I got to save you from this guy because this happened back in the 30s, and they did it in 53 days. Well, 53 is 222. And 53 means Antichrist system. So they ain't fooling nobody. Okay? They ain't fooling nobody. Really? I'm trying to show you the game. Antichrist system 222. Now, there was something that was said by Chris Van Hollen, okay, which is him, in relation to Trump. He said he could release $1 billion so they could hire more police. Now, it says March 3rd, D.C. expected to lose $1 billion in revenue through the financial plan. Local revenues are expected to decline by more than $1 billion over the next 3 years, compared to previous estimates, largely due to federal layoffs, steep enough to throw D.C. into a mild recession, according to the chief financial officer. So there's money available. Okay, there's money available, and here we have the mayor of D.C. versus Trump. And this is yesterday. Check this out.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States. I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control that you'll be meeting.
Okay, so now, when they had this meeting yesterday, I showed, see if I can show it here. When they had this meeting yesterday, they had a variety of people speak. And one was the attorney, and one was Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi, as you can see, she's in black. The actual attorney, I forgot her name, there she is, she's in red. This is part of my 5C thing. Red and black. That's called sacrifice. That's called blood sacrifice. So she's the attorney, and there's Pam Bondi. To me, they were speaking through that. Now, you have to ask yourself, why is Trump doing this? Why is he deploying these servicemen and women? And I'm telling you that in my mind, first of all, the snake is big. This image that's on this, the big balls guy, that's a snake to me. That's a snake right here. That's a snake. It looks like a snake to me. Okay, snake head. Again, let's go online and type in his name. And you go from there. Just type in his name. Give you his name again. Edward Corstein. And look at the photograph and study his shirt. Now, in my notes, what I said was this. I said, first of all, Trump is too old. That's right. Donald Trump is 79 years old. And he's setting up something. I submit to you, he's setting this up because he is the setup man. That's his job. He's leaving soon. He's going to go somewhere and play golf. And they're going to fake something right in front of us. He's going to be unalive. So he's setting up a dystopian system. He's going after the courts. He's suing the courts. He is challenging the money, the funding of these cities. Although, like I said in my other video, that people these teenagers and these criminals out here selling drugs, acting stupid, you help call and bring this type of behavior. You fell for the okie doke. You took the bait. What I'm getting at is this was all a plan. They just can't usurp the Constitution. They gotta just find a little pinhole approach, which they did. D.C. is federal, and he has the power to call the troops, and the chief of police and the mayor have to give him his blessing. After 30 days, we'll see how long they stay there. But people, this is all planned. This is all planned. Trump is too old. Why is he doing it? Well, you could arguably say that he's leaving it for J.D. Vance. No, I think it's bigger than that. I believe it's for the Antichrist. And then the larger question is, people have emailed me, and 007 asked me the question, Pearson, what are they really going to do with the homeless? What are they really going to do with the homeless? And who's going to monitor that? That's the question. I'm Franchise Pearson. You tell me what you think.